Here it goes.
What is good, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the Fuego and Cerisa podcast, where we talk about all things modern dating, with un poco de sal, limón, y chile, mixed in with some cold hard cheese.
You added the chile.
I did.
That was cool.
Tequila is optional for this episode. Yeah, guys, today we have two special guests, one coming all the way from the Hawaiian Islands, and one coming from the beautiful Bay Area. Please, everybody, give us a warm round of applause for Dominique and Sandy.
Yeah. Thank you guys. Thank you, ladies, for coming on.
Yeah, no problem.
Thank you. Yeah, so if you guys can just kind of give a little background to our audience, let them get to know you, just like we want to get to know you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I mean, I met you when we were doing some random gig together, but I told him about how I host speed dating on the side, and she actually co-hosted with me a couple times.
Oh, really? Oh, cool.
So she knows the whole idea of how it works as well. But yeah, so I have experience with co-hosting for a company called City Swoon and My Cheeky Date in the Bay Area.
So how was that experience like being a speed dating host?
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. You meet a lot of interesting people, different vibes for everyone, different age ranges, and it was for like lesbian, gays, straights, all of them. So really interesting.
Nice. How long have you been doing it?
I've been doing it since February 14th, so Valentine's this year.
Oh wow, look at that.
It's been fun.
Valentine.
Any crazy stuff you seen over there working in that job? Any scoops?
Yeah, do you want to
to
say something?
Yeah. Hey, we're all ears. Let's go.
We actually had like an interesting experience the first time I co-hosted with her. There was this man and he just got, I can curse, right?
Yeah.
He got shit-faced.
Oh, damn.
And
Okay.
he was just creepily like laying on the couch just watching the women. And so we didn't know what to do because we're short as fuck. We're 5 foot. And so we're like, what do we do? This man is like aggressive. So we had to get security involved. The manager had to come out and he still didn't want to leave. Yeah, it was an interesting time for sure.
Nice.
Yeah, that's probably one of the craziest ones. I've never had that happen, but the minute that Sandy was co-hosting with me, that's when it happened.
She might be the bad luck over there.
She's a troublemaker.
Now I feel like those sounds like a very interesting job. So like, what have you noticed that like, or I guess have you seen any like positive results of has anybody continued a relationship after the speed dating?
Yeah. No, the cutest one I've ever seen was probably there's this one girl who was really into this guy, and he came in fully dressed in a suit and everything, and all the girls loved him. But she had her eye on him specifically, and I accidentally gave them extra time, I guess, in that second round. But it worked out in her because she was like, thank God you did that, because then it gave me the confidence to like give him my number, and she wrote it down on a napkin and she like slid it through, and I saw it all happen. It was like a movie scene. It was so cute.
Man, that's a sad move. Yeah.
No, I ended up staying like maybe a while after the event had ended already because they just hit it off so well. So I hope they worked out. I never saw them again, but
What do you think? Do you see any reoccurring customers?
yeah, I do. I actually have a couple customers who became a friend group with themselves. So they come a lot. There's like 4 or 5 of them that will just go to these events together.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say like I meant like men who are probably either socially awkward or like have something off, like that they keep getting mismatched for some reason.
I mean, it depends which company. But yeah, no, there's definitely guys like that out there, but I don't know that. Yeah, there's like a lot of socially awkward people that would go to these things, but there's also normal people too. So it's kind of both of them.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I was just gonna ask, like, as a host, because you see like all these people talking to each other, like, what are some things that you would think distinguish men that have a lot of success versus men who have very little to no success?
Yeah, I mean, guys that come off confident is always number one. Don't make the girl feel uncomfortable right off the bat, because those people typically don't get asked on a date or even put on the top 5 list to get a date. So just make them feel comfortable off the bat. Don't make it too much pressure, and don't give too much eye contact to the point you're scaring them, because I've seen that happen.
Like the serial killer type eye contact.
No, I've seen
What are
guys
you
do that
doing?
with the dates. They talk to people too, and they get freaked out, and it's just not the vibe. So that's my top recommendation. Just be normal.
You're asking for a lot nowadays. I'm kidding.
So, okay, let's say, for example, somebody wanted to maybe try that out, speed dating for the first time, right? Let's say I wanted to. I'm open to it. Sounds like a great idea, right? What are the steps? How does the whole process work for me from when I first entered to getting the date and so forth?
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty fast, right? So you get 7 minutes to talk to each person. I give everybody like a scorecard, and then you can measure if you want to go on a date with someone, all the way from never in a million years to definitely yes, I want a date. And then you put your top 5 in the corner, and based off that top 5, if you guys match on each other's cards, then within 48 hours you'll get an email that has their information so that you guys can contact for a date. But I always tell people, if you really like someone, that you should just reach out to them in person, because it just seems to work out better that way.
Yeah. I mean, they're already there, right there. Might as well. Do something cool.
In these speeding DevX, are they having like, is there drinks involved and that kind of stuff, or is it just them talking?
Yeah, I mean, it's always at a bar, right? So they can get drinks if they want to. They don't have to, but most I see always get drinks.
It'd be awkward if they didn't, right?
Oh damn! You can do like karaoke, have a couple drinks. Man, you got 7 minutes, bro. You can make 7 minutes. You can make it work like that. Listen here, girl. I got this.
As long as it's not a 10-minute song, you know.
Yeah.
Like, girl, you better sing the first dope song. I got this. Most of you got.
Play some reggaeton. They'll be going after it.
Hell yeah.
Do you have any other subjects, or do you want to transition?
No, go ahead. Yeah, I don't have any
transition.
More. Yeah.
So we watched this video from the roommates. Here, I'll play it over here. This roommates, and they had this woman called Mary J. Rapini, and she's like a sex therapist and like, I guess, like a therapist in general. And she says they were talking about like men and women and what makes men cheat and what makes women cheat. I haven't, and before I say my answer, what do you think are the main reasons men and women cheat?
What do you think?
I think for a woman, I would say it's more emotional. How are they feeling within the relationship themselves? Do they feel loved? Do they feel understood? Do they feel heard? Like, a lot of men will, I guess, like, forget to be romantic. Like, when you're first going after a girl, they're so into it. They're getting you flowers. They're taking you out. They're picking you up, opening the car door. And then, like, as you progress in a relationship, that stuff, like, stops, and they stop doing, like, the little things. And I think, like, women, like, do need that just for reassurance. Like, you could say I love you all you want, but do they actually feel loved by your actions?
Great answer. Wow. What do you think for guys then?
Yeah.
I can't really speak for a guy.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
Hey, Sandy, let me see your shirt real quick. I think it is what I think.
Yeah, it is.
I know.
I saw it too.
But
So you gotta dive into your personal McLovin. You want to you can speak for a man from his perspective.
32-year-old organ donor. No, that's cool.
Dominique got the gray sweater, but that's cool too. Gray sweaters are cool too.
Yeah.
So the lady Mary Jo Rapini said, I guess Hafiz, I don't know if you guys listen to the roommates. You guys heard of the roommates before?
Oh.
So they're kind of their whole goal is to like help men become more masculine and have, you know, good relationships with women and be successful in other areas of their life, financially, spiritually, in other areas. But mostly they focus a lot on dating. And so Hafiz is one of the co-hosts. He quoted Charlamagne Tha God. You guys are familiar with Charlamagne Tha God, right? No? He's a very big radio personality, and he's very fun. He's a comedian as well. So he said something like, "Men cheat for ego and women cheat for emo." What do you think?
They cheat for what?
Men cheat for ego and women cheat for, or sorry, men cheat for ego and women cheat for emo. Like
I mean, you
emotions.
did say emotional.
Right?
I was thinking about like why guys might cheat. And I think
I feel like that's
yeah.
true.
Right?
Yeah,
Like,
because
it could
I
be
feel like
an
yeah, a lot
ego thing, variety.
yeah, a lot of guys that I've met that like have cheated, it was because they were insecure within themselves, and that was where it stemmed from. But I mean, I guess for girls, it's like they don't feel like something's being fulfilled.
Yeah.
Versus with guys, they feel like they aren't fulfilling enough, or they might feel less than, depending if they can't
it's like
fit
a
their
little
idea of
ego
what
Mm.
a man needs to be in a relationship, and that's typically why I would see them cheat. But I don't know.
Did you want to talk about the Instagram, like how they the thing they talk about Instagram?
Yeah, we wanted to jump there.
Yeah, let's jump in there.
Hold on. Whoa. Yeah, I guess we'll just go there.
I got you.
I want hella back.
we got a hot take
I
here.
want hella back.
Oh,
Okay, I guess I'll just start off there.
All right.
What do you guys think about the idea that, or ladies, I should say, what do you guys think about the idea that men consider, or some men say that if your woman has Instagram, then it's considered cheating?
You should speak on this.
Oh. Okay.
I was gonna get juicy. Where's my popcorn at?
Actually, I have an ex that was like this. And I think it's really controlling, first of all. I don't think anyone should be like, oh, you can't have Instagram or you can't post this because you're in a relationship. And if you post this, that you're seeking male validation. Like, no. Why aren't like we can like post whatever we want? But yes, I think it's a very controlling thing. And it just takes a toll. And I forgot where I was going with that.
Yeah.
What do you mean by takes a toll? What do you mean by takes a toll?
Yeah, can you explain a little bit more about what do you mean by that?
Yeah, so I was in a relationship for 2 years with a guy. And like at the beginning, I was like, oh, something's off, but like whatever, I'm gonna keep going. He was cute. And then like the more like I would feel like I'm walking on eggshells. So like my personality was like dimming, I would say, but I'm still like very headstrong regardless, but it's still like very like it's just tolling. You get tired of hearing it, and then you kind of just like agree. You're just like, okay, whatever, like I won't post this. Like so like I think I only posted maybe like 1 or 2 times while I was actually in that relationship, versus like now like it's fun to like talk to people, and I feel like that's kind of a way of isolation as well.
Right.
Dominique,
Yeah, what about you, Dominique? What do you think about that?
Yeah, I mean, I agree with her that I think it's really controlling. I think you should be able to post what you want to post, but also, I don't know, depending on, I don't know, it's hard, right? I feel like you should be confident within yourself to know that your partner can post what they want and be okay with it. But I feel like if you come from like an insecure place, then that's the only time that you would have any feelings about it. And I feel like that's okay to feel too. But you just need to talk about it with your partner and not make it like, oh, you can't post this, but at least explain why you feel a certain way. Yeah.
See that 2-piece bikini right there? Girl, that's not it. That's not it. I'm gonna need you to wear something else. Okay, I do have something else. I have a different idea, but the same topic. What about the idea of like if a man says, okay, maybe I have security in myself. I don't believe that you're seeking validation, that you're seeking attention from other men, maybe even high status men, right? Like maybe you're marketing yourself as a potential prospect for somebody who's making meals or going on that, yeah, right? Let's say that's not the argument there, but let's say he says that like, hey, how do I not know you have a channel open for like maybe a potential old fling that you may or may not have feelings for, right? I'm not saying that you're going to cheat in the time that we're together, but the channel is still possibly open because you're still seeing what they're up to, or you guys have mutual friends, right? And then maybe something happens, the woman loses affection, the man stops trying, right? She has that channel still open for her to go do that, gradually build up to the cheat. So maybe that's one of his things, like, hey, why have an Instagram when like you're still leaving some possibility open in case this doesn't work? What about that? What if he said that to you guys?
There's always a possibility, but I think it really comes down to like what you were saying with communication. You have to be able to effectively communicate your feelings and why you're feeling that way for a relationship to even work. So if they're able to communicate those feelings and reassure each other and there's trust in that relationship, then I think it's okay to, I guess, feel that way. But you still need to have a conversation with it. It's not just like you can't do this because it could possibly lead to this.
Hmm.
And I still feel like that stems from an insecure spot still. Like if you feel that way, like that they have all these other options and you're scared that they're going to go for them the minute that something goes wrong in your relationship, I think that shows a light on your relationship. And maybe you guys don't have the best connection if that's how you're feeling. I don't know. Yeah.
What do you now? What do you think?
No, me personally,
Yeah.
maybe I wouldn't say I agree with that. Just on the lines that like I don't. It depends on the man, but I would say, even secure men kind of know what the hell is going on, right? Like they have some idea what goes on around the game of like meeting girls, courting them online, all this stuff too. So not necessarily that they're insecure, but just that they know what's up. So they're just trying to caution it before it even goes on the stream and evolves to something else. But again, it doesn't come from the idea that like, hey, we're gonna like, hey, you're doing like take it off because I know you're gonna cheat. It's not like that. It's more that, hey, I know that if this doesn't work, go ahead. If you're gonna go ahead and cheat and do all that, go ahead. Like it's fine. Obviously, this isn't working for us. I'm not happy. You're not happy. Go ahead and do your thing. But it's just like keeping those tabs in the back of your mind. It's like, why is she keeping tabs if this was supposed to be some type of like, if we're supposed to be exclusive, let's say, right? So I think it depends also too. I wouldn't say it's like insecurity only. I think it also varies.
Would it make a difference if they like had a agreement, like you're not gonna respond to those comments or something like that? I feel like there's middle ground that could be made,
Yeah,
like someone might say that stuff and you can just be not responding to it,
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, for both of them.
Yeah.
The other way was not working. Oh shit! I gotta get close.
There we go. Come this way.
I get close.
There we go. Oh,
now let me do this. Is better.
Oh yeah, there we go.
That's better. All right, now we get both of us. All right, cool. You got any other questions, bro?
Let's see. Yeah, I mean that's the main one. We could talk about dating apps.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. So there's this whole like myth, right? And it'll be interesting to hear like what your opinion is, but that I think it's 80% of men don't get shown to like 90% of women, something like that. And because dating apps kind of work like a bar, but to the extreme version. So a bar has where like, ladies are going to get drinks for free because men are the ones purchasing it, right? So dating apps are the opposite way. So women are going to get in free and the men are going to be the one paying for the gold, the platinum and all the other stuff, right? So what do you think about like men on dating apps? Do you think it's a good investment? Women on dating apps? Yeah, just kind of hear your opinion about that kind of stuff.
That's kind of hard because none of us have ever had to pay for it because there's so many options.
I figure, How was it like on your perspective? Do you just get flooded by options? Do you just kind of like give up? That kind of stuff? Okay.
I just don't think it'd be worth it, especially because like I know like for us, like we get flooded with a bunch of messages within like a day. Not to sound like, like
it's just
shit.
I feel like guys
brag a little bit. It's okay, right? I'll tell them.
Pop the collar a little bit.
Yeah, I don't know if it for girls
worth it.
Online. I don't know if it would be worth it
I don't
either
think
because I feel like girls on those dating sites, for the majority of it, aren't looking for something super serious either. And they don't always, I don't know, like the people that I meet online, I feel like I just don't value as much as the people that I meet in person, if I'm being honest.
That's true. Like we don't really, I don't take it that seriously.
Yeah, neither do I.
You just kind of see it. Is it because people are seen as pictures and avatars that there's no personality.
100%. Yeah.
Kind of dehumanize them a bit.
Yeah. The people I meet in person, I'm much kinder to. Yeah.
Would you say that kind of comes maybe in your point of view? Does it also come down with confidence that if a man approaches you just randomly, or you know somebody is, you feel that confidence from the man that he'd take the steps to approach you, as opposed to like swiping left, swiping right, and then chatting it up? It's like anybody can, not everybody can, but you know anybody can do it.
Hide behind the screen.
Yeah, as opposed to.
No, I would definitely agree with that.
100%.
So let's talk about two scenarios, right? Let's do like a little game.
Okay.
So tell me, first, both of you, tell me an experience where a man has actually approached you and it worked well. So we'll start off with that.
Like in person?
Yeah, in person.
Oh, okay.
I think my most recent one, when I was hosting, there was another random guy there, and he didn't know what was going on, and he was asking me all these questions. And I was being really short with my answers, but he liked that. I was being kind of rude. I don't know. It was a weird situation.
I don't know what goes on at those street dating places.
Oh man, he's hot in there. Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess like for me, like the men that have been like successfully getting my number would be like the ones that don't come off as they're hitting on me. Like they come up and they're just talking to me, and like we see like where the conversation goes, and if he can make me laugh.
Yeah.
He makes me laugh, a lot more likely to get my number that way. And especially if he just says it like not in a, oh, let me take you out, but they're just like, let me get your number, like let's keep in touch. Like that's
more
working
like a subtle, yeah.
Yeah, like don't creep me out.
I like that too.
So no pickup lines, no nothing like that, right?
You're the only salsa I want.
You have that?
Sorry, fellas, it doesn't work.
Yeah. Stick to your joke books. Okay, so now that you've experienced the positive side, so let's talk about the negative side. So what happened? Like, name an experience where you've had a guy approach you and it didn't go so well. So was he awkward, socially shy? What were the things that were going on? You say no to automatically. What are some things?
It gives you the ick.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah. We'll give you
the ick.
We'll give y'all the ick.
We know about the ick.
Oh my gosh. I mean, you could talk about the one from Seattle. Remember?
Oh shit.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah. There was a
Seattle,
guy who was approaching her when we were at a club, and
Came off cocky.
he came off really cocky, and he called her a short midget.
I cursed
Yeah. And then he still wanted her number though. And I was like, how are you gonna come up to her and say all that and then expect it to go well?
You know what I think he was trying to do? So they're in YouTube space, right? There is this thing like where it's men try to pick on a girl to kind of bring her down. I forgot what is it called, nagging or negging or something?
Nagging, something like that.
Negging or nagging or something where it's like you're purposely trying to take somebody down. It's a weird, I don't get it either, but it's like you're trying to take somebody down from their level and then try to bring up the attraction to another level. So yeah, it doesn't work apparently.
No, it just comes off as rude.
Yeah. Or like guys that will like hype up how tall they are, because he did that. He was also like, but I'm 6'4", and I'm like, okay.
He's like, that's why you shouldn't reject him.
Yeah.
Well, we're gonna have D-League babies. What's up?
Basketball.
Man, Sandy, I don't know what happened there, Sandy. You missed a chance.
Short man that like kept staring at us like this.
Yeah, that guy was gross.
Yeah.
There was another guy who he just like excessively stared at us, and it was just really uncomfortable. And that was, but the moment he was gonna come up to us, it wasn't gonna work out.
Yeah,
because he just looked so creepy in the corner looking at us.
Was he like staring for like a minute, looking at you guys, and then he went up to you guys?
So it was like we took this salsa class, and they put you in a circle, and you like switch around. And he just kept staring at us while like constantly trying to hold our hands. He would move our hands and he would grab it again, stare at us like he wanted to eat us. Like,
yeah.
Oh,
yeah, Cannibal Rising in those damn things. Damn.
Yeah.
and like he has this cute little smile on. And he kept eye contact the entire time, just staring at us. I actually ended up running away from him.
Oh shit.
He's probably been listening to too many of those like dating advice where it's like have really good eye contact, but it's like there's a
Yeah,
a
but it was
point.
Show your
God,
confidence.
it was,
Permanent eye contact.
Yeah.
Dominique, I'm looking right at you for 30 minutes, all right? Don't move.
It comes out like
What about you, Dominique? I don't know if you mentioned already.
And he would just stand in the corner staring at everyone.
yeah.
Strange people.
Mm-mm.
So so now that you talked about like some things that actually happened, what about how they made you feel? So the person that did a good approach, what were the feelings that you were having when it was successful? Yeah.
A good approach.
Yeah, I mean, it leaves you wanting more, right? From the interaction. If a guy approaches you and it makes you excited to see him again, just because it was kind of a mysterious way to end it and you don't exactly know where it's going to go after that. He didn't fully disclose his whole life story right off the bat. People do that. Yeah. So I'm very turned off when they go immediately for the whole thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, like leave a little mystery, make us excited to see you the next time.
So you don't want the whole biography.
Yeah. Not what time I was born, what hospital.
Especially if it's trauma, like if you're dumping all your trauma on someone you just met.
Oh my God.
Yeah, you guys had that before?
Yeah,
Jeez.
I've had a couple days like that. For some reason,
Damn.
I feel like opening up all the way, and I'm just not ready for it on a first date.
Who is? You can't imagine. Like, so I did this and this happened. I can't. And it also shows. It probably shows like emotional maturity, right? So, or they don't know how to handle their emotions as men.
Yeah.
Right.
What do you guys think about women-led relationships? The woman leads the relationship. Do you think she'll stay happy, or do you think that she will eventually get tired of leading and break up or cheat or whatever?
Of leading the relationship?
Yeah, like they make the rules. They establish the rules, the boundaries. The man just follows
the boss babes.
Yeah, maybe they're the providers of the family, right? The man just pretty much, not that they stay home, but right, maybe they make less. Maybe they're more caretaker of the home. But the woman, she's the ambitious one. She's the go-getter. And she comes home, she wants that same type of lifestyle at home with her man. So I want the dishes clean. I want the house clean, stuff like that. Yeah, she's making the rules. What do you guys think? Do you think that will be a sustainable, healthy relationship? Or do you think it'll deteriorate for lack of male leadership? That's like a part of society, we would say.
Yeah.
Or in general.
Yeah. Go for it.
No, okay. I don't know. Like personally, for me, this is a very controversial.
Oh, here we go.
Now it's like too. But I don't know. I like a man that can take charge, that has ambition, and if they're like letting me take the lead the whole time, I would get irritated and be like, just make a decision at least once.
So what do you want for dinner?
What do you want?
I don't know.
But then also, like, I wouldn't mind if I was making more than whoever I'm dating. Like, that's not a problem for me as long as they're not lazy.
So you want some ambition still?
Yeah,
even
they
if
have
not,
to
like,
have ambition.
take over the world, but at least some ambition with them.
Yeah, and be able to take charge.
Could it also be because are you Hawaiian in nature? Like, is that where you're from?
No, I'm Ecuadorian.
Ecuadorian? Oh, so it's very common in the Latin culture for the man to lead, right? Yeah, so that's part of it too.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with her. I feel like I would like a man that could lead, but it depends in what too. Like with finances for things like that, I actually wouldn't mind if I earned more than him necessarily. But it would be nice for them to take charge of other things. I've dated someone who I had to take charge for everything that we were doing, like plan everything, and he just wanted to go with the flow with it, which is fine, but it is, yeah. Like I'd much rather have a guy who's like, date, time, this is set, go there. And I'm like, okay, I'll go. I'll listen to you. I know.
I'm not gonna argue. I promise.
Oh, no, yeah, it's really hot when they do that.
Yeah. I agree.
Yeah, I have like so. What happened? So let's say you're at a different income bracket than he is, right? Let's say he loves his job, but he's a middle school teacher. He's only gonna make $60,000 a year, and let's say you're making 120, right?
Mhm.
So I guess your social circle will change, right? So your friends are gonna go to Tulum. They're gonna go to South Africa. They're gonna go to do all this stuff. So do you? What do you think about that? Like how much influence are the friends gonna take into that relationship? On the girl side, I should say.
I mean, as long as the guy isn't like a total piece of shit, I don't really think it matters. At least not for me. Like I know you wouldn't.
Where's your manners, girl?
Like
I guess I asked that
historically,
question.
that's definitely gonna be something that their friends are gonna be like, you better leave him. Like he's not treating you right. But just based off of income, I don't think I would be swayed much by my friends, even
Yeah.
if they were negative about it.
I think it's different because both of us know that we're going to be like financially stable
Yeah.
versus if there was a girl who she didn't have that
Yeah.
luxury that we have, then I think in her case it would make sense
Mhm.
to definitely take that into consideration. You know, like someone's got to be
Does the guy come
bringing
along
pay,
or does he stay?
yeah,
Does he come along or does he stay in the vacation?
You can come along.
yeah, they can come along.
Unless it's a girl.
You see how she hesitated? She's like, hold on. You want to stay?
No, because some people, like for example, like if you're making a certain amount of money, you have certain benefits, like you have paid time off, stuff like that. And in other circumstances, even if you're like a city worker or something like that, even though you're doing your best you can, you don't have as much. Like the tech companies, like they make really good money and they have really good benefits, but other circumstances, like he might not be able to take a week off, because he has to go and take care of a classroom, or he has to repair the lights in the city or stuff like that. So I asked that. That's why.
Yeah, I mean, it is different dating someone that can also be like remote, like I can, for example, and then I can travel with them versus if I'm dating someone that has to be literally tied down to a spot and also has less money to spend on things like that. So it is a little different. I don't know. It's hard.
It's hard, but I don't know. You can definitely make it work.
Yeah, if it was the right person, I'd make it
Yeah.
work, but they'd have to be really special.
What do you think?
I
know he has a hot take, so that's why I purposely asked him.
Can you remind me what the question is again?
No, it's about like, so the guy's not making as much money as she is, but she's going on vacations with the girls, so he can't go with them for whatever reason because he has to stay. So they have to go like a week apart.
So she goes on a girls trip by herself with no boyfriend.
Yeah,
that's the question.
Yeah.
Depends where they're going on this girls trip. That's the question. That's the real question. Because if she's going to like, let's say Montana or like Kansas or like, I don't know, London. Even London, I'll give them a some slack. Like if she's going on a girls trip like that, I don't really see the idea behind it. Not me. I mean, it might bring up your guys' idea about like he's insecure, but just me personally, like in case and this is like that, like I mean, it's just gonna be just like some casual, like chill back, comfortable type of girls thing. But if she says she wants to go to Miami with the girl, she wants to go to Vegas with the girl, she wants to go to Dubai with the girl,
LA,
like it's just like wait a like whoa, like what's going on here? Like what's going on here? Like even if you weren't insecure, like in the back of your mind is like you already know how that hype is, what the intentions are. Now I'm not saying she's gonna go out there, that's her intentions, but that's the first thing you're gonna think, like, wait a minute, why are you trying to go with all your girls to this trip? Maybe hide that sexy dress like in the baggage and the boyfriend never sees and she walks out with like a hoodie and sweats, right? And you never know, and then she changes out there. So, and that's not, like I said, that's not being like insecure or anything. I just think that there is moments where that's really has happened, so people think about that. But yeah, that's what I would say. If they're going to like these certain spots, then I would have a problem with it. I don't think
like party cities pretty much.
Yeah, right? I feel like there wouldn't be any reason to. But if it was like just some casual thing or like to go see family, nah, that's totally different. Like, yeah, go ahead, enjoy yourself. But yeah.
How would you ladies?
Yeah, what do you ladies think about that?
How would you ladies respond to that?
How do you respond to that? Yeah.
It's hard because we're young, right? So even if we were in a relationship, we'd still want to have fun. And not necessarily fun and cheating or any of that, but just going out with your girls. It's a very different experience. It's just fun. Like I enjoy having girl time, and it doesn't even need to have like guys involved. It's just fun. Like to dress up with each other and go out and take cute pictures together. Like it's genuinely what we enjoy. Like we went to Napa for a vacation. Yeah. And it was just us. And we had a great time. Yeah.
And there is no men involved.
Yeah.
And we're all so it's like we just like girl time.
I pray for you, ladies. I mean, I hope y'all have fun though.
Yeah.
But something like that's a little more, it's a little more calm. Like, I mean, I don't know what you guys did, and I can't speak on what you guys did in Napa, but just hearing that, I'm like, oh, they probably had a good time, right? Had some wine, play some music, and whatever you guys else did. But I feel that.
Wouldn't you say that there's sometimes girls do have that one friend that's, what I'm saying, that's a little on edge?
A little more outgoing, little out there?
Yeah. So wouldn't you say that sometimes it's like a guy sees that, he's in a relationship with a girl, and she's like, I got to keep my eye on her. You know what I'm saying? Like, she's up to some trouble. You know who we're talking about.
Yeah, no, I do. I'm that girl. So that's why I know.
Shout out.
Yeah. I don't know. At that point, it's just, again, I feel like it's trust.
Yeah.
It has to be.
There has to be trust in the relationship. Or else that's going to be a problem.
I would never encourage you to cheat.
Yeah.
Like, I would never do that. Like, that's just
wrong.
Yeah. But if your girl, I don't know, you guys have some issue going on and she wants to cheat, like, that's not my fault. I didn't encourage that at all. You made her upset. You did something. And she decides to go off, I'm not responsible for that.
You wouldn't gas her up like, come on, girl, do you? It's your life. Go out there, enjoy. Fuck him. Fuck these men. Go do you.
That ain't shit.
You wouldn't do that. Come on.
And that's a different story. Yeah.
At least there's some type of hype.
Just a little bit, probably.
Maybe not. Maybe like you said. Maybe not say, hey, go out there and cheat, but maybe like, hey, go enjoy yourself.
Subtly,
go
imply.
That. Yeah. I'm not saying you would. I'm just saying like.
Yeah,
that could happen. Yeah, especially with like how you mentioned that one friend. Yeah, look out for her. Like, wait a minute.
I know, literally.
So we were on this same podcast. They talk about how men tend to have poor communication in terms of like, just because our social circles are very smaller or almost non-existent, right? There's a whole community of men like incels and stuff like that tend to, involuntary celibates. They either have, and they tend to, there's like a pattern. They tend not to be charismatic. They tend not to laugh. All that stems from is not having good communication and relationships with other men or women, for that matter. So what do you think about that? What do you think some men can do to increase their communication style or practice their communication? So they can be better communicators in a relationship?
I feel like friendship and family first, then just work on your relationships with those people that are special to you in your life that aren't necessarily for romantic relationships, but how you approach those relationships is going to be how you approach relationships, even romantic, in the future as well. So I feel like those are really important.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I also think that a lot of like men like don't want to say what they're actually thinking or how they're feeling. And that's like a big thing about like actually like having effective communication with someone. You have to be able to like say what you're actually feeling and not just tiptoe around it.
Yeah. And practice that. Yeah.
I completely understand what you're saying, but there's two schools of thought on that. And we did a video on this. So there's one school of thought that says man should be able to be vulnerable with his woman because that shows that he's internally strong, he knows how to lead and all this other stuff, right? Which, I'm kind of in between these two schools, but there's that one school. And there's another school that says men should only talk to other men because if he says all his stuff to his woman, then he might come off as, I wouldn't say like weak, but he comes off as like a complainer or like a guy who makes up excuses or he doesn't take accountability. So she might lose a little bit of respect. And once a woman loses a little bit of respect from a guy, it's very hard to get it back. So I'm just kind of curious, like, which school of thought would you say you're in? 1 or 2?
I would say I'm in 1 personally. Because like I like a guy that can express what they're feeling. I'm also like, just with my background with psychology, that's like, I value that.
Mm-hmm.
You're able to express your emotions. And I don't know. I think as long as they don't do anything like too crazy, like, yeah, I don't think you would lose the respect that
So
easy.
definitely not running around naked, right? That's
Yeah,
not
don't do that.
Yeah, I mean,
I wasn't expecting that. Don't do that. You might lose some respect for that one.
If he told you that, you'll lose your love, right?
I would say emotional intelligence is hot. So someone who can be self-aware of their emotions and can explain it to me in clear words is amazing.
Mhm.
Rather than me guessing why you're upset, why you feel this way, and you're just pouting,
Yeah.
not letting
Or
me
like,
know, and then you
yeah.
just blow up in my face. Like, that's too much.
Yeah.
I would much rather you just tell me.
Yeah, like, don't bottle it up.
Yeah.
Just say it. But
Let's
still
say-
be respectful while you're saying it. Because if you're like disrespecting like your girl,
Mhm.
what's it called? Then there's just not going to be effective. Like, they're going to be like, what is going on?
Yeah, they think
So,
you're attacking
Yeah,
them.
you need to be able to be level-headed about it and respectful with what you're saying.
Okay. What about, because I think that's one way of seeing it. What about if he's not that he's building these emotions or these feelings towards you, but let's say every day he's coming in complaining about work, complaining about life circumstances over and over and over. Maybe he cries every Friday on a Friday, he has his wine, take it back, crying in front of you, like, I can't believe it. Does it get tiring? Does that still like?
He needs friends.
Attractive,
Like,
that
would you
emotional
still?
intelligence.
Yeah.
Does that still
No.
apply, or is it? Yeah, now it's different. Like,
I
'cause
think there needs to be a
understand what
balance.
It's definitely,
Yeah.
you're saying.
Because I dated a man who he wasn't like emotionally vulnerable with his friends, but he would put everything on me.
Mhm.
And it's just too much. Like, I would much rather him talk to his friends and get their opinions and not have to just solely rely on their girl,
Yeah.
because it's emotionally draining for us.
It really is.
Yeah.
I had a similar experience to
Mhm.
that. And it really is hard, especially when they kind of make you feel like a little guilty about not wanting to
do.
hear about it.
Yeah.
But it's
What do you mean? Like,
That's-
you
that's
don't have
fine.
to go in details, but like, what did they say, or like, what do
You
you
can give us like a general concept.
just
like, they would complain about like work almost every day, right? And I'm like, that's fine. Like, I guess thank you for letting me know how your day is going. But when I would have my own things going on, I'd be like, listen, like, I can't do this right now. But they'd be like, but you're the only person I can talk to about this. And they make you feel almost guilty for not putting them first, if that makes sense.
Like you're not giving them advice, or that you're not listening.
Yeah,
to
like
them.
you're not, like, they make you feel like you're not there for them, even though you've been there like the whole time. But like, just that one day you needed, like,
like decompress. Yeah.
yeah, decompress yourself, because you have your own things going on too. So yeah, they definitely need friends and a balance.
Stick it to once a month, and that's it. Just tell me once, and that's it.
Yeah.
So would it be different if he were to tell you, "Hey, I'm going through this stuff, but I'm gonna do this, and that," versus just, "Oh, all this stuff is happening to me."
Yeah.
Right.
And then I'll see you tonight in the room, right? That's good, right? I guess it's kind of changing a little bit.
Yeah, go ahead.
What are some like things that a man can be aware of when they can, or I guess when they start noticing that like the relationship might end, where the woman's kind of pulling back, she's kind of getting to the point where she is planning on leaving. What are examples of what are the steps? How does it gradually get to that point?
You're also good at this one.
Ooh,
She
Like-
goes,
lay it off, big girl.
let me see that one. How many girls do you have?
They gradually
Like
start pulling
girls?
away. Yeah, like, how do guys know the signs for when a girl
Or
starts?
what can they do to,
What
like, if
can
they
they do
can?
to
Well, let's do that. And then
Okay.
what can-
Yeah, let's do both.
I think like personally, I can't speak for all women, but personally, when I just stop caring, like during an argument per se, like we're arguing about something, and usually when a girl is like very invested, like they're gonna like argue back at you. It's part of like a relationship. Fights are part of it. But like when you're just like, okay, whatever, you just don't care, like you
Content.
yeah, you're just like, okay, whatever, like, like you're right.
You forgot to clean the dishes. Yeah, okay, cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like if I'm mad at them, like I don't know, I'm just like, ugh. Like like
Give me the ick. Your face gives
yeah,
me the
like
ick.
everything they do, like they could literally be perfect. They could be like giving you flowers and stuff, but just them being there is like, oh, like you forget, like you're not excited to see them. You don't want to
Yeah,
talk
yeah.
to them.
Look at this. Look at
Communication will
this. Sitting on the couch.
This lazy potato. What the hell?
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I think that would be like
The indicators.
Yeah.
So you're saying kind of like when the perception changes from, oh, I love this person, like a very optimistic
yeah, you start
view
to
of
like
him to
criticize
a
them.
nihilistic, and
Yeah.
it switches like that. Oh.
So definitely if they're like, I know I would critique my ex a lot when I was already losing feelings. I'd be like, why are you doing this like this? And they'd be like, what are you talking about? I'm like, I don't know. And then I'm just like,
That's interesting. That's actually
So you're like judge him more and put him on the spot more.
more like nitpick, what he's
Yeah.
doing. Even though it could be like something like completely normal, but I'd be like, why are you using that sponge instead of that sponge? Like,
why blue instead of red?
Yeah. Red is perfectly okay.
like
I feel it.
yeah.
Okay, so
just don't have
there's
your
probably stages of like letting go, right? So if it's on the early stages, what are some things that the guy can do to save it before you get to like the deeper?
Before it's over.
Yeah, before it's there's a point of no return, right?
It's hard because it depends on the girl if she wants to stay in it or not, right? Because at some point she even makes her own decision, and when she makes that switch and knows that it's just not it, she won't care no matter what he does. Even if he
I can see that. But don't you think that the woman is, so let's say the guys, so you said that you want a guy that's a leader, right? So if he's deviating for being a leader, isn't that when the attraction also kind of deviates as well? So if you were to kind of come back center and grounded and lead again, would that kind of help
Would that say
the attraction? Yeah.
Say the relationship, or would it?
I mean, it might help for a little bit, but like, how long is that gonna last?
Yeah.
Until you start to deviate.
So you have this like feeling of insecurity, right? Like
lose the trust.
how long is it going to take? Yeah.
It's not really insecurity. It's just like you start to
Well, like it's not like you're insecure, but it's like a feeling of lack of trust, or is it
I guess so. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just like I don't know, like
Yeah.
when's the next time it's gonna happen again?
Yeah, because usually they'll save it for a little bit and then it'll be back to what it was. And it's like, yeah, you did all this work,
And
but
then it's
then
just a cycle.
yeah.
So yeah, basically, don't mess it up. Just be who you're
Just be
supposed
perfect
to be.
all the way around.
Not perfect, just be the leader that you're supposed to be.
But I feel like there's times where you're gonna mess. There's gonna be situations, for example, like let's say your father passed away, or you lost the house, you lost the job. Like there's gonna be incidences where it's gonna be difficult to maintain that 100% all the time.
Yeah, but I mean, I think ladies would understand that. Like, there are circumstances, but if it's like all the time, then that's different.
I agree with that. Yeah,
that's way different. Yeah. But yeah, because if a girl wanted me to be perfect all the time,
I'm like, that's like unrealistic. Yeah, I was gonna say that's unrealistic for the guy.
Yeah, it's kick rocks, but the circumstances just the same way. Like if a girl has to, like for me personally, like if like a woman is talking about what she's going through, because for me, I like to listen. What happened in your day? Tell me all about it, right? I like that, and I know there's certain moments where you have to really be there, and there's other times where like, hey man, I got something to do. I got to go to work. Like this can be for later, Yeah. So there's circumstances where you want to be there. So I feel that. Cool.
You have another topic? I have a few.
Go ahead.
Let's see. Oh, priority? Nah. Oh, boundaries. Let's talk about boundaries. So, attractive, hot, not, no, yes. Not, you guys like nice guys? You guys like guys?
You like nice
boundaries?
guys, bad boys. What do you ladies like?
What are some qualities that you find attractive? I should say.
In a man.
You said leadership is one. All right, what else?
Self-awareness. Like if someone's self-aware, that's really attractive. Confidence.
Vulnerable, I think for me is a big thing.
I guess passionate. Like they have to be passionate about something.
To have hobbies and stuff like that.
Yeah, like
not just so like consuming of you, like
like they have their own life.
Yeah. Yeah.
No, I'm guessing it becomes overbearing, right? It becomes like
yeah. No, I used to date a guy who he would always be asking me like, "Oh, what are you doing?" Because he was doing nothing, and I was like, "I have stuff to do. I'm in school. I have all these other stuff," and they were just constantly asking. It's just annoying. But yeah, family oriented is another one that I really value, and I think you do too.
I do.
Yeah, just with like our Asian and Latino culture.
Yeah, those are very strong values.
Yeah.
All right, I got one. Would you say this is an ick for ladies? A man who makes you feel secure or puts you like on a pedestal? Is that an ick or
pedestalizing?
Pedestalizing you like man.
Yeah, sometimes.
Like if they're overdoing it, then I'm just like, oh
yeah.
I don't know.
It's like sometimes if they overdo it like that and they always praise you and all these things, it makes you feel
worship you. They have a shrine. Don't you love it?
They have a Dominique.
They have a shrine. They have candles.
Don't want that.
The whole candles on their knees.
That's scary.
Yeah.
Could you imagine if you found that the shrine of yourself?
I think I would freak out and leave. I would not come back.
Have you ever seen the show Hey Arnold?
I have. I know exactly. Yeah.
Oh, they had a shrine of Hey Arnold. Now imagine it was the reverse.
Hey Dominique.
I would never come back.
Catch it on Netflix. Catch it on Netflix, guys. 7 to 8.
Because I feel like part of that is also you're giving all the power away too to us, and that's not hot. To know that we completely have you all the time. It's just not. I don't
buy the balls.
Make us chase you a little bit.
Yeah.
Is that
a little mystery?
Do you think is that something that nice guys tend to not understand? That they're the ones who normally are, penalizing you, so that's why they don't get the many options. I mean, we can go even further, but just that
skin the surface level.
Yeah.
I would agree with that. Nice guys. I like them. It's just if they're too nice to the point where I can get away with anything, it's not going to work out because I don't want that.
It's a boundary, right?
Yeah.
What do you mean? Get away with things? Like, do you want to be like tamed or like where are we going here? Where are we going here?
Okay,
from like tame to PTSD now.
No, so I was talking to two guys, right? One was really nice. He texted me every single day, FaceTimed me every single night.
Oh shit.
But he let me know like just how much control I have over him. And he would be like, I like you so much, I just don't want to ruin this. And then I had this other guy who was also nice, but he would make me work for it a little bit. Like he wouldn't automatically give me all his time. He'd be like, I'm busy, whatever. But he would still be nice. Like he would text me, hey, I'm busy today. Like I'll text you like later or something. Versus this other guy, he would drop everything just to talk to me.
Jeez.
Kiss your feet and everything too, huh?
Yeah. And
you both got shrines.
I don't know. It gave me,
Yeah.
Porque no se de Guadalupe. Oh, man.
Shout out.
No, yeah, definitely. Well, I think part of it is the guy, the really nice guy, like the guy that's too nice. I don't think he knows how to. There's like a roller coaster, I would say, like a woman loves to kind of ride on. I don't think he knows how to do that. He sees movies. Maybe he doesn't have a lot of male influencers or male guides. So he doesn't have that. So he watches TV, he sees movies, and if you watch a lot of these movies, especially from like Hollywood stuff like that, it's always like the nice guy at the end runs off with the girl that he finally chased for 10 years or whatever, and she finally submits. But the reality is it's very different, right? It's way different. It's opposite of that, if anything.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, I wonder how much of that is culture and how much of that is just not having the right influences.
Wait.
Yeah, so guys, if you guys see, I love The Notebook on Hinge. Don't follow it. Don't go watch that movie. Unless you're already with it, then whatever.
Unless you really like it. Even then, bro, just keep it on the DL, like
You know what? That was a great movie. Hey guys, guess what I watched?
Or was that one that woman used to really love, Dear John, or what was it? Dear John, right? Like army guy and all this stuff, and she falls in love with him. These love letters.
Oh shit, yeah,
I think
something like that.
I think it was Dear John. My
Yeah.
sister watched it. But yeah, I think that's part of the issue.
Yeah, that's what they follow. So then they meet ladies like yourselves, and then do all the wrong things.
They write poetry and shit.
Yeah.
Which is not like necessarily bad. It's just not what I think women are looking for.
Mm-hmm.
I think women looking for something totally different. So, Yep.
Yeah, so that's boundaries. Hatred self. Oh, that's a good one.
Go ahead.
I don't know.
But which one?
The hatred, like other people. Yeah, that's a good one. We can do that.
Go ahead. I don't know.
So usually, a lot of guys that project their insecurity on women is usually because somebody in their life has projected insecurity onto them, right? So we could talk about like the extreme example, which is like people who have been abused. So children, 98% of abused children tend to, usually are abused by somebody close to them, and then they're taught that self-hatred, right? Then they why did I do this? Why did I allow that? And so if they don't seek help or anything, they just continue that narrative of self-hatred. And so maybe that's one of the reasons why there's so many men that have a trouble communicating their needs with women, is that they have this either self-hatred within themselves that they don't want to let go of, right?
Yeah.
What do you think?
I think they need therapy. I don't want to have to deal with it.
Let me go this. Oh, no, it's different.
I think that's
BetterHelp.com.
Yeah. Like, please work out your shit. And then after that, when you're ready and you feel like you're ready, that's when you should go into a relationship. Don't come like completely broken expecting your partner to fix you, because she can't.
Like, we can only do so much for a guy.
You can't build something together. You can't hold it down for me while I'm trying to get it together. Wow,
you don't want the next Dr. Phil show, Dr. Phil Part 2? Or?
I mean, guys don't want the same thing. They don't want us to be completely like emotionally like crazy all over them. Like, yeah, like they don't want us to completely rely on them. That would be annoying for them too. I wouldn't want to have to do that to my partner. So I don't know.
Where like, are you saying like where you have to say everything to him versus you talking to your girls?
Or do you mean not being toxic?
I just mean you need to work out your shit before getting into a relationship. So if you have all these issues that you haven't worked out yet and you still are dealing with it, you shouldn't just get into a relationship right then and there.
It's something you need to work on yourself first.
Yeah, because it's going to affect the relationship. And even if you wanted it to go well, I don't think it could, because you didn't work on yourself. Like,
you're so
I would say up to a point, right? I think there's a diminishing return, right? You can only you can do so much online and with therapy and stuff like that, but if you don't take the initiative to go out and seek relationships, then you're going to be like those self-help garbage. You're just eating self-help garbage all day, just kind of like, not doing anything to better your life.
Yeah, it needs to be a balance.
Yeah. I mean, you definitely you need to work on yourself, and I mean, if you let your partner know hey, I'm working through this, don't just surprise them with it, you're a year down the line and you're just being crazy and they have no idea what is going on. I don't know.
It comes back to the communication, right?
A lot of communication.
Yeah. What do you think? You want to switch topics?
Yeah.
All right, go
I
ahead.
don't have much on that. I guess I'm kind of gonna get a little personal here, but just this is more of advice than what I'm gonna ask. Okay, you both have, I guess, before I jump to the question, you both have been in long-term relationships, right? Somewhat long-term.
Not long-term.
No, I'm not saying 5 years. At least
one, two, yeah,
maybe 1, 2. Okay. If the sex ended up ever getting boring, would you say, or which one do you think would work better? If you ended up started planning, say your lives got busy, planning out specific dates when you would have sex, right? Or would you just try to still keep it spontaneous if the spark is still there between both of you?
Spontaneous.
Let me look at my calendar real quick.
Yeah.
I'm penciling you in for July 14th.
I have this schedule now.
Yeah.
It's better when it's spontaneous.
What do you mean by that? What do you mean spontaneous by that?
He just grabs you and just.
I mean, you don't have to get super. I mean, if you want, but you don't have to get super specific.
Yeah. What do you?
Yeah, I mean, if I don't know, if they're giving, if you're doing say you guys are living together, and you're cooking dinner or something, and he gives you that look, and he starts getting flirty. I think that's a lot hotter than looking at your calendar and being at 5 o'clock today.
You gotta remind me. Wake up. Ah, shit. Today's the day.
Go put on that sexy dress on, girl. Come on
I think it's different depending on your age, because I've heard married women say that for them it makes more sense to plan things just because they have kids and they have all these other responsibilities to deal with. But if that's the case, then it makes sense. But for us, we don't need that. Yeah, we definitely want some spontaneity.
I guess since you did touch on the subject of marriage, would you say it's kind of a red flag if a woman starts using the kids as a way of not having sex, even in a marriage, as them kind of pulling away, oh, not today, the kids are still away. So, but she continuously does it,
as an excuse, right?
Yeah, as an excuse to not have sex. Would you say that's a red flag, or it just depends? I know you guys aren't married, but just a hypothetical.
What are your thoughts?
I don't know. I always heard from married women that I've talked to that the reason why something like that would ever happen is just because they're stressed, right? So if the guy maybe could see the responsibilities that she's doing around the kids and could help out with that, then they're a lot more likely to want to have sex with you because they're like, oh my God, he's actually helping out.
That's so hot.
Yeah. So
it's funny that you say that. It's funny that you say that because the same woman, the sex therapist, she said something similar. She said that men tend to relieve stress through sex, and then women need to be de-stressed to have sex. So there's this mismatch, that's kind of tension that's going on.
Yeah, I agree with it.
Yeah, cool.
Feel it. God.
Do you want to go through rapid fire?
Yeah. I think I'm done with all my questions.
Yeah, likewise.
Yeah.
We're going to do this little fun segment that we like to do. It's called Rapid Fire.
All right, guys. We're going to the more explicit version on the Patreon. Just follow us. But yeah, so here on the podcast, we like to just change it up and do rapid fire questions. So just 5 questions that pretty much have nothing to do with what we're talking about, but just to get to know you guys.
I might throw some in there too.
All right, cool. Okay. So number 1 is favorite color.
Black.
Purple.
All right, favorite number.
2.
12.
Favorite wrestler growing up.
Favorite
restaurant?
Wrestler, like WWE, wrestling, like The Rock, Stone Cold,
Kane, Undertaker.
I don't know wrestlers.
See, I thought
our red flag.
Yeah.
I have
Next
to
one.
I have to figure out how to get over it. All right. Fourth question. Favorite Bay Area spot, location, view, restaurant, any of that. Just one. Favorite spot or I guess favorite view. I would say view. Just simplify it.
The Marriott Lounge has a really nice view.
The one in the city?
Yeah, so it's a skyline view. It's super gorgeous. It's kind of yeah. I haven't showed it to you,
Yeah.
but it's nice.
Are you talking about the one at the Embarcadero? That one?
Yeah, that's
Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about. Okay, cool. Yeah, that's what's dope. All right, and number 5. Well, who is your favorite musician artist you're listening to right now?
Morgan Wallen.
What? I don't know what that is.
He's a country
Yeah.
singer.
He's a what?
He's a country singer.
Ah, no wonder.
Dominique.
I always like Miguel. He's always my go-to.
Oh my god!
Oh,
Oh,
nice.
okay.
And then what's one of your favorite qualities in a man?
Trustworthiness is huge for me.
I want to say confidence.
Confidence.
Like confidence.
And last one. What's your favorite go-to alcoholic drink?
Right now, it's the coffee espresso one. What is that? What is it called?
Espresso martini.
Yeah, espresso martini.
I
Very
really like
nice.
mules.
Yeah.
No, we just want to thank you, ladies, for coming through. You know, taking your time off today and just kind of being chilling out with here with us. But that's it for us. We're just gonna actually head out. I
Sounds
want to
good.
wish you the best. That's it. Thank you again, Dominique. We'll work again soon. See you. Good shit. Cool.